Lil Pump is one of the hottest rappers out right now. Allow me to show you some of the best items that he owns. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to King Trending. Number 9. Gucci clothing.
It's owned. This is the legendary Gucci Gang jacket from the Gucci Gang video. The other legendary jacket from the Gucci Gang video. The other legendary jacket from the Gucci Gang video.
When you're a rapper, you need to have your own look, regardless of whether it's a street or classy one. You need to have a look that defines who you are and what you're singing about. And while it's true that Lil Pump does go very basic at times with his own outfits, he does know how to dress up the part, as it were. And one brand that he clearly loves is Gucci, the well-known brand that has played a big part in his career, as his song Gucci Gang was the one that helped him reach the place he is in the rap world right now.
Hey, my man on Fox News. That's another thing that
So it's honestly no surprise to find that he spends a lot of his money on Gucci attire. For example, when most people picture Lil Pump, they see him in his Gucci sweaters that cost over $1,000 a piece. And that's just the basic ones, and he has lots of them. In fact, he's actually inspiring his fans to go out and try to get some of these for themselves. So you could say he's trying to start a trend, which many singers like to do at some point in their own careers. However, not everyone is impressed by it. I think he wants to be flossing. One stylist says, "Look at me, my money, my cars, my girls, trying to rock all the designers. I'm a rapper. This is who I'm supposed to be." That mentality is all about sending a message to his community, to his followers. All these rappers want to be the next big thing, so they rap about Tom Ford or Givenchy. Does anyone want to argue with a stylist? Yeah, I didn't think so. Because as we all know, Lil Pump loves to flex his wares and what he has, and that's part of his character, and that's not going to change anytime soon. And that's also not going to change him from dropping thousands on his attire. But that doesn't mean he just sticks to clothes. Number 8. Jewelry.
I got these from Icebox. I'm the only one with these. They're each like 13 or 14 a pop. Put them all on one side.
After all, what are clothes without jewelry to accentuate it? And that's exactly what Lil Pump has. Loads and loads of jewelry and other things. In fact, he gets in trouble for a lot of the jewelry that he buys himself. But let's be honest, are we really surprised that Lil Pump gets himself in trouble with spending his money? Now, there technically isn't a number that defines how much Lil Pump has spent on his collection, but at one time he noted on social media that he had spent $350,000 on jewelry in the past.
Close though, okay. 750? What is this? What are we?
wrong.
The pump is right over here. Is that what we're playing, man?
I'm in 500s.
Yeah, that's a very large number. And that's what he just thinks he spent on jewelry. And it's very likely he spent much, much more. But the fact that he might have been lowballing proves just how much he loves to buy his pieces, which can be proven not just by the amount he owns, but the kind of jewelry he owns. Lil Pump has a large assortment of watches, rings, grills, necklaces, and more. And whenever he wants to get more, he just goes and gets more. And he buys his jewelry for different reasons. Sometimes it's to look good at a party and to get everyone hating on him. Other times he just wants to look dope in a music video. And other times he just likes what he sees. Either way though, he has the ice and he's going to keep on getting more as long as he has the money. And so that total of how much he spends is continuing to go up and up. Number 7. Lamborghini.
Hey man, y'all distracted me. I'm about to crash. Scared!
One of the reasons that Lil Pump is hated by many in the community is that he has serious issues when it comes to impulse control. And his control, and lack thereof, always focuses on his money. For example, he once bought a white Lamborghini for himself and then sent it back to the dealer 2 weeks later. That's right, he got a super expensive sports car and then got rid of it 2 weeks later. Do I really need to define how weird and wrong that is? I mean, would you buy a supercar and return it after 2 weeks? No. At the worst, you do a month, but that's it. But even that, you might as well just rent the car first and then go buy it later. I don't know. He impulse buys like crazy. In case you're curious, this particular Lamborghini costed him $250,000. He also bought it when he was only 17. So was this a teenage impulse? Did he seriously have an issue with the car? What's the deal here? You know what? Who cares? It's Lil Pump. He does whatever he wants, which is again part of the problem. Number 6. Porsche. Lil Pump really loves his cars, but his first one is still very special to him, despite some things he did to it. A $50,000 car bought by someone like Lil Pump may not sound expensive, but when it's a $50,000 Porsche gotten by a kid who just came into a car crash, yeah, it's important. But the timing of that singles out this particular car. This was his first car purchase after he struck it big with his hit song Gucci Gang. So this car has a lot of significance for him, as it is literally a symbol of just how big he was in the rap world now, as he had a hit successful enough to go go out and buy this particular ride. You have to admit, for his first purchase of an exotic car, he made a good choice, and only for $50,000, where the song made him much more than that. This was definitely one example of impulse control. A Porsche is a dream car for many, especially a yellow one, and oh, that $50K price tag, as I noted, is an estimate. For one of the more base model versions of this car, depending on how much custom work or additions Lil Pump had done to it, it could have easily been $100K before the deal was done. Story over? Nah, not so fast. Or someone maybe should have said that to Lil Pump. You see, Lil Pump got a little too excited in the car and ended up crashing it. Oh, did I mention that he crashed it the same day that he got this Porsche? Yeah, sounds like a teenage drama plotline, doesn't it? It's ridiculous. But thankfully for both him and the car, the damage was very minimal. He just hit it in the hood and the door, and he took pictures of it to show off later. Number 5. Bentley Coupe. Can you tell that Lil Pump loves cars? Good, because he's got a few more cars on his list, such as when Lil Pump went out and got a $350,000 Bentley Coupe, which is a very high-end model of car. But it was what he said after making this purchase that gave a lot of people pause, because he noted on Instagram after the purchase that this would be the last car purchase he makes for a long while. That's a big admission from him, and something very few people expected him to ever say. Of course, that doesn't mean we have to believe him. After all, he's a guy who's bought million-dollar items on a whim or impulse. It's really simple for him to go and get things, but maybe if he just wised up and realized that having money and spending money aren't the same thing. Or maybe I'm just hoping for too much here. Number 4. Shopping sprees.
What's up, man? Show me what you just got.
We just bought the whole team bust downs. Everybody got a bust down.
Have you ever dreamed of having enough money to do massive shopping sprees? Just go nuts and see what you would buy with a certain amount of cash. Well, Lil Pump has, and he's gone all in on that impulse too. One time he went into the diamond store icebox to get himself several pieces of jewelry. He even made a video about it to show off all the things that he got himself within the place. Just the first part of this shopping spree costed him about $300,000 in items. But that wasn't his only shopping spree for jewelry. Rather, he was just getting started, for he decided to go to a New York jeweler and get a bunch of pendants made for himself. Specifically, he had 8 made for himself, and each of the pendants were custom made and range in value depending on the particular one. In total, this particular spree costed him $350,000. So when you put these two together, you get a lot of money spent on items that he technically didn't even need, but he got them anyway, because that's what Lil Pump does. Number 3. His contract. There is a misconception about where singers get their money from. Yes, a big part of it comes from royalties from the songs they make, but most of the time the big money comes from their contract deals. And the one that Lil Pump owns was very lucrative when he signed with Warner Brothers. By the term of the deal, he got an $8 million advance on it, and he gets 14% of all the royalties from his songs. Add that to the mix of the bonuses given to him through his contract, and the money that was given to him for concerts and other such promotions, and yeah, he has a lot of money to spend. Which is actually why we're here, isn't it? The signing of the contract was actually a turbulent affair. For at first, Lil Pump was underage and couldn't legally sign the contract, but he did it anyway and got it voided. A few months later, and he got to sign the contract. But then he held out for a better offer, and he got exactly that. So with the signing of a pen, Lil Pump became rich, and he loved every minute of it, and he continues to spend money because he knows that he has it. Number 2. Concept car. I want you to think about the car of the future, and how badly you'd love to own one. One that only has a limited number available and says, is it even finished yet? Well, Lil Pump most definitely wanted to be that guy, and so he went and got a true concept car from BMW, one that is still in pre-production today. It is named the BMW Vision Next 100, and it is indeed expensive. It costed him $2.5 million apparently, all for a car that he can't even drive right now. And he likely doesn't even know when it's going to officially come out. The reason for the cost is simple because BMW truly went all out on this ride. They're going to incorporate not only the latest styles and trends into the visuals of this car, which, you know, is going to be a very sweet looking ride. It's one that is well equipped to suit the personal needs of the driver. And each model is actually tailored to each owner in its various ways. So yes, when it's done, Lil Pump will have one, and you'll just know that he's going to test the limits of it to see what it can do. Number 1. His home.
I got bored, so you know what I did? I went and dropped $4.5 million on the house.
So by this point, you're likely not surprised that Lil Pump has spent a bunch of money on his house, and after all, it's the place where he lives and parties a lot, right? So of course he can spend a lot on it, but that's not the issue. The issue is that he bought a house on a dare of sorts. This happened when fellow rapper J. Cole actually called him out in a song that he did to school Lil Pump about how he spends his money. One of the things that he condemns the rapper on is that he didn't buy himself a home. Yeah, he didn't let that just stand. Lil Pump went and dropped a staggering $4.5 million on a house for himself. That's right, point, $4.5 million. And that was just on the house itself, not the interior or the things that he spruced up about in it, just the house, $4.5 million. As if his arrogance wasn't already assured because of this purchase, after getting the house and settling in, Lil Pump made a post on Instagram about the house and said that the only reason that he did it was because he was bored. I mean, what else needs to be said there, right? And so there you have it, a select few things that Lil Pump owns that are most definitely expensive and true to his personality. What do you think of this list? Were you surprised by some of the things that he owns? Did you expect him to have more? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time on King Trending.
Hey, just a reminder that we're changing up the giveaways. From now on, we're offering the Galaxy Note 9, the one that comes with the exclusive Fortnite skin, the new iPhone X Max, which we'll pre-order for you, and the new Apple Watch Series 4, which we'll also pre-order for you. The winner gets to decide between these three. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a like, and comment the hidden message in the video for a chance to win. You got nothing to lose. Go for it.